Hello. Today we are talking about drivers, how to keep drivers, how to find drivers. There has been a shortage for about maybe even 4 to 5 years, and it's just getting worse. And now it's all over the world. It's not just the United States, it's everywhere. I have an uncle who drives in southern Europe, and he tells me that it's really bad there and they can't find anyone. And the same as here. And now drivers can work on their own terms. I used to be a driver myself. I drove for 10 years or so. I drove over the road, drove locally. I've been to each state except for Alaska and Hawaii. And I can tell you from my experience that when I was driving, it was different because you couldn't really pick and choose where to go, and your home time, that was kind of questionable. I mean, I had a good employer, and I would get home often, but I know that other drivers were not able to do this. So now drivers can ask for benefits, for new trucks, for more money, and I really don't blame them because it's a tough job. It's people don't understand how hard it is to drive a truck. It's not physically hard to drive a truck. It's you're away from a family, you're away from your friends, from your home. You're constantly in danger. You are 1 second away from the ditch, and you always have to be aware of what's in front of you, behind you, and your mind has to be clear. And sleeping on the road, eating on the road, showering, spending most of your life on the road, it's tough. I know some people like it, and that's different. But if you don't like it, or if you're just doing it because you need the money, then that's a different story. So I don't blame drivers on trying to get better pay and better benefits. But the fact is that there are no drivers. A lot of that is due to old school drivers are retiring. We have the ELDs. We have new generations coming in, and driving a truck does not look attractive to them. They wanted to do something else, and I don't blame them either. I understand that. But whatever the cause for this is, the fact is that we need more drivers, and the trucking companies are struggling. You can see hiring signs everywhere. You can see bonuses. There are a lot of ways to attract drivers, but I think the best way to attract a driver is just to be honest with them and treat them respectfully. And I know people will use that term a lot. But what I mean by that is like treat the drivers as if you wanted to be treated yourself. So they have to get home, they have to get rest, they don't want to be yelled at, they want you to ask them nicely and acknowledge if they're doing a good job. If they're doing something wrong, you have to find a way to talk to them and just point to them the way you need it to be. And that's just anywhere. It's not with drivers. And if you're an employer, and if you are in any kind of industry, people like to be respected, and they want you to be honest with them and tell them the truth right away. So if someone calls you up and asks you about your position, well, don't sugarcoat it. Just tell them the truth. Tell them we have these loads, and this is how many miles you're gonna get a week. We may have a bonus, but we don't have any benefits. It's 1099 or W-2. Just tell them right away, and people will appreciate. If nothing, they will appreciate you for that. They might recommend a friend if that doesn't work for them. They might come back later. They may find someone who promises them all that stuff that they're asking for that you cannot offer, but that they remember you, and they can. Everyone can tell in your voice whether you're honest or not, whether you're trying to screw them over or not. Just be yourself and tell them, hey, this is what it is. If they don't like it, well, thank you. If you change your mind, we're here. So how do you find drivers? Well, people will post ads. I had luck with Craigslist. Some people have luck with Indeed or Facebook ads or calling up people, going around, going to truck stops. If they have someone that does that, that's different. I don't. But you can try all that. Post on Craigslist. Don't only post in your area, post around your area, post in other cities. Don't make big promises when you do a posting. Don't, like, if you have a $5,000 bonus, well, tell them how that works. Don't just tell them we have a $5,000 bonus. When they come in, when they say, well, that's going to happen in a year. And then if this happens, then you're going to get it. If it doesn't happen, you're not going to get it. Just tell it right away. We have this bonus and you'll get it in every month or every 2 months or, whatever the case is. Don't sugarcoat everything. And if you have a picture of the truck, just put it in your posting and tell them what it is. Don't be too broad. Don't be too short. If you're too short, then, you think you're just like another guy working from home and, they don't know what they're doing. If you're too long, then that means that you're one of those companies that has thousands of trucks and you're just a recruiter and you don't care about them. Just go to the point, put everything in your ad, all the specifics that they need to know. Don't do it too much. When they call, then you can tell them about other specifics. Just, do all the points, like the main points of your position. I'll tell them who you are, what you're doing, and who you need. If you need someone that's going to stay on the road for a long time or short time, just be specific. So you can post on Craigslist, Facebook, Indeed, ZipRecruiter, Monster, Snag a Job, whatever the case is. Because I have a small company and I know, like, Indeed, because that's too expensive and I didn't have much luck with that. Like I said, I have most of my luck was with Craigslist. And then you can go to a truck stop. You can print out flyers. Usually truck stops in their lunchrooms or the driver lounge room, they have something and where you can just put your posting there. You can go to local companies like big warehouses or like food industry. You can ask them, hey, can I leave this on your lunchroom or wherever the drivers are checking in? Just talk to them. You can call up all drivers that you had and that left on good terms. Call them up, say, hey, just letting you know, if you're looking for a job, we have this, we offer this now, and this changed, and this is still the same. So you can come up to us and talk to us. You can post on Facebook, on your Facebook page. There are also Facebook ads. You can pay for them. You can go to trucker forums. There are a lot of trucker forums, and then you can chat to the drivers and get to know them and just tell them the truth. Hey, we're hiring. If you want to, give me a call or message me. But also, one more thing, what I did for a while was Google Ads. Now, for that, you have to know what you're doing, and you have to pay someone. If you pay someone for Google Ads, it gets very expensive, but it's effective. I did it myself. I took some courses, and I kind of like to mess with that stuff. So I took some courses, and I had, so luck. But if you have a budget of $10 a day, that's not going to get you a lot. Because that adds up. $10 a day, that's $300 a month. But if you have a big budget, you can spend hundreds of dollars a day. Then you can get lucky with that. Find someone that knows what keywords to use and geographical areas and demographics. That's a big thing. So find someone who can do that. So that's another thing where you can post to find a driver. Once they call you, and they will call you, just be yourself and talk to them. Don't try to sugarcoat, don't lie. Tell them what it is. We have this truck, we're trying to fill it. These are the loads we're doing, and looking for someone dependable, honest, someone who can stay with us for a long term, someone we can keep. So once you get like 100 phone calls, I'm just kidding, maybe less, and then you hire someone, when they come over, just look at them and see how they act and who they are and where they come from. Look at their history. If you see the application and they changed 20 jobs in last 3 years, then it's a big red flag. And you know that I don't have to tell you that. So maybe you should, try to find someone else. I know you're desperate, you need to fill the truck, but you can check their SMS scores, check their reference. You have to send the previous employment request to their former companies. Some people will do background checks, but that takes a long time to get back. So once you found out a lot about the driver, then be honest with yourself. Do you want someone to give you headaches every day and damage your equipment, or do you rather have your truck sit? So just think about that. If you like the person, then once you hire them, well, how to keep them? Well, don't give them trash loads. Don't give them loads where they're going to stay a long time to load and unload, and don't send them to where they don't want to go. Ask them, hey, where do you want to go? Where do you don't want to go? Just ask them and then make a list and try to not send them over there, or just don't send them over there. Keep your drivers happy. Ask them, hey, well, can you give me a few days in advance, before you want to go home? Just tell me how often you want to go home, and tell me a few days in advance. And then if they tell you they need to be on home on Friday morning, then you get them there Friday morning or Thursday night, even better. If there are no loads, bring them home empty. There is no, unless the truck breaks down or something bad happens on the road, there is no excuse for you not getting that driver back home, because they want to be home. They want to see their children and their wives or girlfriends or husbands, same as you. So don't, these young dispatchers, young kids, they will, come up with stories, and then someone will offer them a good paying on there. They'll be like, oh yeah, just go there and pick up this load and then we'll be go home next week. No, you bring them home whenever they ask you. Bring them home empty. If they have to drive home 200 or 300 miles empty, just bring them home empty and have them be happy. Tell them, hey, I'm going to bring you empty home and I'm going to pay you for those miles. I'm going to pay you for those miles. I have to cover the fuel and the expense and all that, but I'll still pay you as if you're driving. Okay, you're going to lose a couple of $100, but you're still going to make, money. You're still going to make money that week. If you don't make money that week, if your profit is zero, then you're going to make money for next 2 or 3 or 10 weeks. So what would you rather have? An unhappy driver that will look for someone else when you don't bring them home or you lie to them? Or would you rather have constant income every week? It doesn't have to be a lot of money every week. 1 week you can go with zero profits, or even if you're in negative, just do whatever you promise them and they will respect you for that. They will know that you're an honest person. And they sometimes, when you ask them for a favor and tell them, hey, can you do this? I know this was not the plan, but can you do this? They will be happy to return the favor to you. Otherwise, you're going to have an angry driver who is not going to do you a favor, and then who's constantly going to be looking at another place of work. Now, if that driver does not respond in that way, if they don't feel like they owe you a favor or they don't do their best job, then that driver is not good for you anyway. So if you see that this has been happening for 2 or 3 months, you give everything to them, you go out of your way to make them happy, but they don't return it. They constantly do mistakes and they don't answer the phone. Then it's fine to it's time to find a different driver, you know. But if you usually people will respond in a positive way if you go out and do what you can do first. Don't expect them to work great for a few months or a year, and then they'll be, oh, yeah, well, you know, this is a great guy. I'm gonna do him a favor and do that. No, do it right away. Start right away, because it's in your interest for them to stay. They can go anywhere. You know, you fire them or they quit. They have another 10 people calling them up, and they have another couple of hundred companies or more to apply, and they may be even getting a better pay or better treatment. So, you know, if someone, it's different if if driver talks down to you or they're being disrespectful or, you know, for no reason. That's different. Then you have to act in a different way. But if that's an, you know, not like a regular average person, then, you know, go out first and then, you know, be nice to them. It's different if they're toxic, and I had drivers like that, you know, then that's a different story, not for this video. So I hope you like this video, and I hope you will subscribe to this channel and like the video and share it, and then I'll see you around.